Welcome to Pop Culture Roulette for all your pop culture needs. We're America's podcast. All right, welcome everybody. How's it going? Justin?
Oh, it's been a week.
It has been a week. And Jeremy.
Yes. Hello.
Wow, look at that. 2 weeks in a row at full strength. So I don't really have anything to discuss, but I have had some ideas in my head.
I was gonna say I have one thing to gripe about since you said it's been 2 weeks. This has nothing to do with the podcast. It's just a stupid gripe about where we live.
Okay.
What the hell's with the parade next week?
Yeah, what the hell?
Their 4th of July parade is next week.
They ruined everything. Does tradition mean nothing to these people?
Now,
they pretty
why
much got rid of the fair. They got rid of the parade.
why did the fair go away this year?
Well, they said that if by doing it earlier, they can provide a better fare for everybody.
Okay.
But maybe there's something deeper. I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know.
Do you have an actual conspiracy theory, or do you just like conspiracy theories you want to?
I don't really. No, I don't have anything really, but
Okay.
I feel like there's always something a little deeper.
I mean,
Yeah, I know we don't like parades. Well, I don't on this podcast. I've made that very apparent with our.
Does the
business
parade
now.
still go right by your house?
Yeah, right in the front.
Right.
I don't think they changed the route.
Okay.
They're
So,
just
like,
doing
you-
the 4th of July parade the second weekend in June.
So you can still watch the 4th of July parade from your kitchen or
Yeah.
dining room, whatever.
Yeah, one of the rooms you want to call it.
It's been a while since I've been to your house. I don't really remember the layout super well.
I don't know. It's like a meeting room. There's
Okay.
2 couches and a cedar chest. There's no
See-
TV. That's further back.
I mean, if I could just put a chair in front of the window and just watch the parade, maybe I'd be more entertained. But see, I don't like being out in the hot sun.
That's fair.
That and parades are just boring. But
Yeah, but the 4th of July parade is next week. Which, for those of you listening, next week would be what? June 14th.
so a good 2 weeks before July 4th.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, hey, it is what it is.
Anyways,
It might make the summer feel longer, but I don't like tradition being broken.
No,
No.
and I mean that's like when they decided in the last couple years to rename Chocolate Fest into like Burlington like Roundup or something. Like because Burlington used to be Chocolate City because they have the Hershey plant and they used to make a lot of chocolate here. But I guess I have no idea why they don't want to be associated with that anymore. So when you drive into town, I don't know if it says Chocolate City anymore. It still says home of Tony Romo. But we don't call it Chocolate Fest anymore. Now it's, I don't know. Like I said, I think they call it Burlington Roundup or Burlington. It's not Fall Fest because it's still in like June, July.
Hmm.
But yeah. I saw something on Facebook recently and I'm like, what is Burlington Roundup? And I was like, oh, that's right. They renamed Chocolate Fest. Because again, tradition means nothing.
yeah. Like, why are they doing a football game too? I mean, more football the better, but Thanksgiving Eve, that's not a thing.
Oh yeah. We did bitch about that a couple weeks
Yeah.
ago.
Jeremy, what are your thoughts on Thanksgiving Eve
Oh,
football?
it's terrible. My buddies, we always have a traditional dinner before Thanksgiving, the day before, so that really fucks with the whole thing. We're gonna have to go to
Well,
a sports bar now.
that and I don't mind Christmas Day football if Christmas happens to be a Saturday, a Sunday, or a Monday night. Moving a game to Friday just because they want to have Christmas Day football is annoying.
hmm
Yeah, they did that with what is it, Black Friday football too? You don't need
Yes,
it.
yes. It's bad enough we were saddled with terrible things. Well, the Thanksgiving games I understand, but we don't need Thursday football every other week of the year.
Yeah.
But
Just some
yeah,
traditions, like yeah, some traditions are you just need to keep. That's one of them.
but I've been banging the drum against Thursday football for like the better part of a decade now, I feel like. So
Yeah, I
it,
mean, the more football, the better. But go Sunday, Mondays, go back to that.
college football is for Saturday, pro football is for Sunday and Monday night.
Yeah,
Tuesday through Friday is for other stuff. Well,
Mm.
I guess if you want to be that weird, creepy guy and go to the high school game on Friday,
yeah. As long as they still have that, who knows? That's a tradition. They might get rid of high school football.
that'll never go away.
Yeah, with like one of the big traditions. I guess we're talking about traditions early on because of my little tirade. Like the Packers versus the Chicago Bears. Are they going to be Chicago Bears anymore? They're moving
Well,
to Indiana.
That's definitely happening.
it's looking more and more likely. I think, quite
It's like
honestly,
75-25 that they're moving to Hammond, Indiana.
isn't Hammond like right outside of Gary though?
I don't know. I try not to go to Indiana,
I don't know. I
especially
mean,
especially Gary.
well, that is understandable. Um, my guess is, quite honestly, that the Bears are doing this to force the city of Chicago and the leadership of the state of Illinois into better deals or at least working with them. Because as of
The
right now, like,
the
because,
owner of the Bears came out and said something that they would finance the whole thing in Arlington Heights.
right, they bought all that property in Arlington Heights, but the various different governments of Illinois are, well, the history of Illinois is very well alive with why it's called Windy City. You know, it has nothing to do with the wind, right?
Is it the politicians?
Because the politicians are so corrupt in Illinois, they're just windbags.
Uh,
Like look at the history of Illinois, and this is just as a transplanted Wisconsinite, the amount of governors, former governors of Illinois who have gone to jail compared to every other state in the US. It's ridiculous.
yeah.
Like most states have zero. Illinois is like five.
Oh,
Like I don't know the exact numbers. I just know it's more than one. And it's so yeah,
so not great.
yeah. So I know that the wheels in Chicago have to be greased, and I'm guessing that the Bears are deciding to do this publicly to keep the grease to a minimum of what they have to
Yeah,
do, because the fan base is going to riot. I mean, I think also like moving from Chicago to Arlington Heights is no different than every other city that doesn't have like San Francisco 49ers are playing in Santa Clara. You know,
right.
the New York Jets and New York Giants are technically in New Jersey. Yeah,
hmm
you know, uh, not a lot of teams are Green Bay where they're actually playing in downtown of where they claim they're in. I mean, the Dallas Cowboys, I think, are technically in like Fort not Lauderdale. That's Florida. Fort something. I don't know. I don't think the Dallas Cowboys technically play in Dallas. I think they play in a suburb slash another city next to Dallas.
Hmm.
I mean, hell, the baseball team
Yeah.
I root for calls themselves the Los Angeles Angels, and they've never been in Los Angeles. So hey, I mean, at least
Doing a little,
the Milwaukee Brewers actually play in Milwaukee.
doing a little bit Googling here while you were talking. Hammond is 20 minutes west of Gary.
Okay. My guess then, if they do move to Hammond, they will still call themselves the Chicago Bears.
They don't want to be the Gary Bears.
Probably not. I mean, as Packer fans, we will all call them the Gary Bears
Yeah. The Indiana Bears.
or the Indiana Bears.
Yeah.
None of
I
us
like
will
I like Gary Bear.
none of us will give them the respect that they well they I mean they're the Bears.
They don't deserve it.
They don't deserve respect. I uh I got behind a Porsche 911 today that had Illinois plates
Ugh.
and a Dallas Cowboy like wraparound license plate thing. And I was like, man, if
Plate
there
cover.
yeah, like I was like, man, if there is ever a reason to hate a guy more that I've never met nor will I ever meet, Illinois plates, Dallas Cowboys, and a Porsche. I mean, the guy, who knows? The guy could have been a super nice guy, but every bit of that package just screamed douchebag.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Anyway,
Yeah. Where
any,
were you going to go with this?
I don't know. Jeremy, do you want to join in on the traditions that we want to keep going, or
That they've ruined on us?
Well, I mean, 24-hour Walmarts. That was one of my favorite traditions.
yeah,
I'm
well,
glad that's dead.
I'm always gonna miss that.
yeah, but neither of us
Oh,
work at Walmart anymore, so it doesn't affect us.
Yeah.
it can rot.
All right. So I've got a couple ideas for some future episodes in mind, but I feel like we need to define some terms so that we can properly set up those episodes. What is your definition of a franchise? Not a sports franchise, a movie,
Oh,
an entertainment franchise. Like, how many movies does it need? A TV show? Does it need video games? What what's your bare minimum to say this isn't just two movies, this is a franchise?
probably three. I would think
Mm,
three movies would make it probably a franchise. What do you think, Jeremy? Should it be a franchise for movies?
Because
mm,
I mean, does it need to be more than three? Because a three is just a trilogy. Does it need a spin-off movie? Does it need a TV series? Like, does it need something more than just
Is Back to the Future a franchise?
See, that's what I was wondering. That's the crux of the issue of where we're going, where we're headed. Like, what does it mean to be a franchise? So, like, if we're going to do a franchise bracket, what is our baseline? Like, what does it have to have before we consider it to put it on the bracket?
I would call Back to the Future a franchise because I mean it's got video games, it's got a Broadway show, it's got. Didn't they have a cartoon?
They did have a cartoon.
They did. So
So
is that so? It would be a so if a movie only has three. I'd say even Lord of the Rings would be a trilogy.
But Lord of the Rings followed it
But
up
then
with
they also did The Hobbit, and they have video games, and they have.
right. You know,
That's why I think three might be a franchise, even though it's a trilogy.
okay. So, like, if we were debating between, like, I'm trying to think of a movie that did three movies and then that was it. Like, they never did anything else. And I'm not talking like merchandise, like all of these guys behind me, all these little, pops that are hanging out behind me, because anybody can make merchandise, anybody can buy a shirt.
Because Matrix did what, three movies?
See, but the
Well, I
Matrix,
guess then they did an animated
they
one
did the
and
Animatrix
and video games.
and the video games, and then they also a couple years ago did the fourth Matrix movie.
I don't know. I've never seen them.
Yeah.
None of them? Did we
And
already talk
oh
about this?
yeah, I think I saw the third one in theaters.
Is Austin
Okay,
Powers a franchise?
Okay, there we go. That's a good example because
nice job, Jeremy.
that's well, okay. All right, that's what I'm wondering because there's only three. They've never done a TV show. They've never done video games. They've got
Well, they
merchandise.
did.
Did they do a
They
video?
did some really shitty like Game Boy Color games.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Okay.
did not like them.
Apparently, Lucy is either totally against you and your opinion of the video games or totally in support.
See, this is what happens when I get an actual setup again. You catch all that. And there's nothing I can do because I'm stuck here. Okay, she should be done.
Okay, all right. All right. So, I mean, is that the bare minimum? Three movies and potentially a video game? Or like,
I don't know. That would work for me. But I mean, well, never mind. I was gonna say, would you call Home Alone franchise? But they did a bunch of like sequel movies later.
they
Those are
did?
really shitty
Yeah.
sequels.
Yeah,
But like, let's say what if it ended at two?
yeah, I don't know if I'd call it. I mean, yeah, I don't know if it had ended it because the Kevin McAllister part of Home Alone ended at two, but then they went on and did like, what are they up to five now?
Something like that.
And didn't they have like a really bad like Super Nintendo game?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What about is Space Jam a franchise?
Hmm.
Because if you don't, even before they did the LeBron James one, they had the Jordan one, and then they came out with toys, and I think
Yeah.
they had a PlayStation game.
Yeah, and
That's
you
one. That's one movie.
but you could almost argue that Space Jam is more of a part of the Looney Tunes franchise than its own thing because like if you took the basketball players out of it, you still have the massive Bugs Bunny, you know, Looney Tunes world that it involves.
Right. Yeah, but then it wouldn't be
So,
Space Jam. It would be Looney Tunes.
no, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know if Space Jam is its own franchise because I think it would be, if I was doing it, I'd wrap it up into the Looney Tunes franchise.
Okay, and I was gonna say Spaceballs came out with an animated series, and they had the one movie, but I don't think I'd count that as a franchise.
Right.
So I think for movies, it's got to be three.
Okay. So, bare minimum, it needs three movies and possibly video games or a TV series.
Yeah.
I guess.
I
I
mean, I
mean,
would even say,
Beetlejuice could be a franchise too, and that has two movies, an animated series.
yeah. I would even say, how likely are you to see it as like a promotional tie-in somewhere?
Okay.
I mean, like if like as at a Happy Meal or some restaurant.
Halloween flavored Fanta,
Ooh, yeah. That was a good one. That was a great box art. The
and
pinstripes.
it wasn't that bad either.
Yeah.
Um, Trying to think, what would a video game franchise be then? Would that also be three?
I'm guessing, yeah. Because, like, where, like, like, you're talking about Halloween, like, promo art, like, Beetlejuice had, they're up to two movies now, but they had that animated series.
Oh yeah.
And then they've
Yeah,
had a lot of, promos, a lot of
and
tie-in stuff.
they've done musicals. Because I was trying to think video games too. Would probably have to. I don't know if you'd count two as a franchise. What do
Then
you count for video games, Jeremy?
I guess 3 is good for that too. That makes sense. But I'm trying to think if there's ever been like one and done games where you still like have an iconic like character that came out of it.
yeah, to say generally speaking, the video game world, as soon as one game gets super popular, the sequel comes out within a couple years.
Yeah,
I mean, they don't tend to just not put another one out.
right.
There's only one Yonoid game. What about Earthworm Jim or Toe Jam and Earl?
Yeah, there
Booger
was
Man?
there
Booger
was a
Man.
Booger Man. That was yeah. I remember
Great
Booger
game.
Man. There was at least 2 Earthworm Jim games
Okay.
and a cartoon. So I would consider that a franchise.
So I think the second it crosses over into some other platform. So like if it started as a video game and then like goes over to the movie world or the TV world, like Street Fighter. I mean, they're
Mhm.
up to I don't know how many Street Fighter games, and now the second Street Fighter movie's about to come out, and I'm pretty sure. Well, I mean, there was maybe the third one because I didn't they do just like a Chun-Li like solo movie a few years back?
I don't know.
Not
No,
sure.
I don't think it was very
Mortal
good.
Kombat would fall into the same boat.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat's up to like 10, but they're up to like 4 or 5. They're up to I don't know what number movie they're up to now.
Yeah.
Plus, they had the TV series and all right. So we have our baseline for what a franchise is. Do you see any difference between science fantasy and science fiction?
Wow.
And the one definition I have is like Star Trek
Uh-huh.
is science fiction because most of Star Trek is based in, and I'm using quotations, reality. That like it's just like what a future could be if technology advances. There's not a lot of fantastical things that happen. I mean, sometimes they get into some crazier stuff, but for the most part, it's just like aliens and like advanced civilizations. Star Wars is more science fantasy because of the Force, because of Jedi and Sith and like the fantasy side of things, the non like you could theoretically see most of what happens in Star Trek happening if technology keeps heading the way that it's heading. Where Star Wars, like maybe parts of it could come true, but like the whole Force thing, like that's clearly like the made up part. Like Lord of the Rings is completely fantasy though.
Mhm.
But that so like
Yeah.
it but is like when if we were to be doing a science fiction bracket, would we stick to just like would we hardcore stick to a definition of science fiction? Or would we, because obviously we'd want Star Wars on there,
No, we
even
wouldn't.
even though one of us has only seen a couple of the movies.
Jeremy?
I
Me?
Is
think
it talking about
Jeremy,
you?
I think
I don't
Jeremy's
think
seen
so.
almost all the movies.
I've seen everything but number, let me go through the numbers. 9. I've seen everything but 9.
You've seen Rogue One and Solo?
Yep, and yep.
Well, you've seen more than me then, 'cause I've
I've seen
seen.
everything but 9. Pretty sure I saw Rogue One in theaters with you, Nicholas.
You did not.
Who did I see it with? I saw Doctor Strange with you and I fell asleep.
That is true.
That one's a fact.
That is a fact. Yes, we went and saw Last Jedi, but we did not see Rogue One.
Hmm. Anyway, I've seen everything but, well,
Okay.
that and obviously the new Mandalorian Grogu. I haven't seen that one,
I don't
but
remember
I've
if I
seen the
saw.
show and I've seen Ahsoka. So
Okay.
unnecessary strays being fired my direction.
Well, you just have such a bad habit of not watching things or watching the first thing and then like
I
giving
give
up
up.
on it.
That's true.
So what would you consider like Jurassic Park?
Um, I
Dinosaurs.
I would consider Jurassic Park to be science fiction because it might be crazy science, but in the world that they've created, the science makes sense.
Hmm.
Aren't they
Like,
trying to bring back like a woolly mammoth and stuff like that?
yeah, there are people who have not watched Jurassic Park and gone, maybe we shouldn't do this. Maybe this is a
Right.
warning.
But
They
so
they
it's
what?
something like if they're like, oh, we have this actual dinosaur DNA, somebody would probably be like,
Yeah, they'd be
wouldn't be the
like
worst idea.
Jurassic Park said we could. You know,
We'll
what's
just
the
do a miniature. Everything will be like miniature.
what was the line? Like you never you only stop to think could I? You never stop to think should I? Right.
Mm.
Or something along those lines. Like, could we do it? Yes. Should we do it? Probably not. No, I'm not gonna lie. If there was a Jurassic Park or a theme park to which you could go see dinosaurs, even having seen 7 movies worth of stuff, I would still go.
I
Yeah,
don't know if I would.
I,
I.
I'd risk it. I mean, come on. How many people went to Jurassic World and didn't die?
That's fair.
I mean, how long was that park open? Now, not Jurassic Park, Jurassic World. So like the fourth movie. Like how many people went to that park for years before shit went bad?
That's fair.
All right, so if we're building the science fiction bracket, are we leaving superhero off of the science fiction bracket because that's kind of its own genre?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say there's some things we'd have to leave off no matter what bracket we do, just because we know us. So you can't
Yeah.
put it on there.
True. Understand? I'm just trying to find because obviously because I am also cheap and refuse to pay for Bracket Maker or Bracket Maker.hq, whatever I use, the it's bookmarked.
Yeah.
I refuse to pay for it, so we're locked at 32. That's the most we can ever do. I mean, we might have to do 2 brackets worth and have multiple episodes, but all
Has
right.
anyone tried to reach out to them for a sponsorship?
No.
Just give us a free membership. We do a lot of brackets here.
We do. I Part of me is afraid that if I contacted them, they would be like, "Look at how much you do use this service. Yeah, you got to start paying."
Mm.
That's fair.
Although I would take on a sponsorship from Bracket Maker HQ or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
I should probably learn their name before I reach out for a sponsorship. All right.
I'll do some Googling.
What do we want to cap science fiction horror? Like, do we want to would we include that or would we leave that on its own set? So like Alien or Predator or Leprechaun in Space. Like because it's horror, do we leave that off and move it over to its own bracket?
Is
'Cause
Leprechaun science fantasy more than
uh
science fiction because of the
Yeah.
mythological
Yeah.
character of a
yeah.
leprechaun?
I'm also gonna say that pretty much only one of one of the Leprechaun movies falls into the science fantasy world of things.
No, I'm not even counting about them going into space
That's the only
because
one.
it's yeah, no, because a leprechaun as a creature
Right.
is like a fantasy creature.
Yes.
So is that science fantasy, even if you don't count going to space?
All right. If we don't count the going to space one, I believe it would just be horror fantasy, not science fantasy. Like because he's just running around killing Jennifer Aniston.
No, he's not.
No, that's true. He tries to kill Jennifer
He
Aniston.
survives.
Um, so like obviously like Alien, Predator, Critters, Alien, Predators, and Critters Like, where do we put, do they get left off of a science fiction bracket because they are more likely to appear on our horror movie brackets and more likely to be,
It depends how many more titles you need.
it's science
Leave them
fiction.
off if possible.
It's science fiction. I'm gonna have to struggle to, I mean, I won't struggle to come up with 32 franchises. That will, it might be more struggle to find out what I can put on there because, like if I was like, oh, does James Bond wouldn't count as science fiction because James Bond, generally speaking, is grounded in reality. Although with all those gadgets, maybe it borderline science fiction. But
What is Doctor
only
Who
Doctor Who would be science fiction.
and
High,
Spaced?
highly wrapped in science fantasy because
What
they get some pretty crazy stuff, but I mean
like Spaced and Red Dwarf?
science fiction.
All right. It's gonna be hard to find stuff that I've seen in those realities.
Well, that's the problem that I'm gonna have. That's why like I wouldn't include James Bond. Well, I wouldn't include James Bond on a science fiction bracket anyway, but only two of us have seen more than one James Bond movie.
They're long, man. At this point, why bother?
What about Hollow Man?
Hmm. See, that's where like I could almost do just like a science fiction slash horror bracket,
Yeah.
and then the science fiction slash, like I mean, this is where I'm trying to define the terms to figure out what I can and cannot put on the bracket. So then when we build it or when I build it, like we're not debating whether or not it should be there or not.
Right.
So if I go, okay, we're going to do a science fiction horror bracket, that one might not be all 32 because that might be more limited into what the three of us have actually seen. You know,
Yeah.
yeah. All right. How about like I know you have a hatred of the Fast and Furious franchise, but around five, when that franchise went from being about auto racing to like becoming a live action cartoon, and they started sending cars into space and jumping cars from building to building. Does that franchise jump over to science fiction?
How long are they in space?
Oh, like 5, 10 minutes, maybe. Not very long. Not like barely.
Isn't he still in space?
No, they came back from space.
Okay.
Uh,
I've only seen Hobbs and Shaw.
right. Um,
I don't know.
I mean, I feel like it's going to be pretty easy to come up with franchises. Like the obvious ones are Star Trek, Star Wars, Matrix, Back to the Future. You know, yeah, it's just a matter of looking around this room and picking out, a whole bunch of franchises that exist inside this room on the shelf behind me, the shelf next to me. You know, like what franchises exist that would be, does it have to involve space travel or could it be like the Matrix where it's, half of it's within a computer, half of it's on planet Earth. There is no real.
Yeah, I think that works. Something like the Matrix. What about like Mars Attacks? Is that science fantasy?
I think I would put that one as science fiction because like the aliens exist within a set of rules
Mm-hmm.
that exist within the rules that work in that movie. So it's kind of like if you set up a system for your movie and follow it, where like you're not depending on some kind of unseen force like you would Star Wars or where magic gets involved kind of thing. Like I think that's where you cross the line from fiction to fantasy. So like Dune would maybe make the bracket, although I don't has either of you seen Dune, any version of Dune?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so
No.
Dune I would leave Dune I would maybe put on there just to talk about it, but I know it would get voted out in the first round. I watched that first Dune movie, it bored the hell out of me. It's so boring. But it involves it's kind of a mix between Star Wars and Star Trek, where it heavily involves like space travel and like trade and blah blah blah, but then it gets into like the whole like religion side of things like the Force does. So like
Okay.
it's kind of a mix between the two. So it doesn't just stick with like sandworms and space travel and fighting over whatever spice might or might not do. Is
So
it a
like Resident Evil science fiction.
yes. But Resident Evil probably goes onto the science fiction horror bracket, which I'm now seeing I'm gonna have to split between those two.
All right. I'm just trying to figure out the baseline here. So even like Harry and the Hendersons is science fiction,
Yeah,
not
totally.
science fantasy, even though it's a Sasquatch.
I don't know if that falls into any of the science fiction categories. I think that might just be straight up fantasy.
Cryptozoology.
Yeah, I think because it's just uh,
Well, it's based on something real in science, so why wouldn't it be science fiction or fantasy?
hmm, I mean that's a whole nother debate that we can have on a different episode. Um, I mean
Yeah.
I
I was gonna say I had a question with franchises, but we're well past that.
now we can go back. We can
Yeah,
circle
we we're doing whatever we want on this episode.
right.
Clerks, is that
Franchise.
because
Clear,
it's three?
well, and it also
And then what about Jay and Silent Bob by itself? Because you have Strike Back, the reboot, and the cartoon.
it all falls under the View Askew franchise because Clerks, Jay and Silent Bob, Mallrats, Dogma, they're all related to each other. I don't know if Jersey Girl falls into the View Askew universe other than the fact that a lot of the same people were in it, but I don't remember if there were any characters that crossed over between the Jersey Girl and the other movies.
I don't know.
So how would you put that on there?
I mean, I won't put that on there because I don't put that as a science fiction franchise.
No, for the just
Oh,
franchises or whatever we're talking about.
yeah, I don't. I mean, a franchise bracket would be very difficult to do because, like, where do you draw the line for just franchises? Because that would be where, like, we would talk about Fast and Furious and James Bond and View Askew and like Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street. Like when we talk about movie,
John
like
John Wick,
movies that have gone way past three, maybe even past four. Like when you get into the 20s, like Marvel, Godzilla, like when you start
King
getting into
Kong. Yeah.
yeah, when you start getting into the double digit. Now Godzilla will probably now. Do you consider Godzilla to be a horror movie? Because like it's
No,
like
I'd say science fiction.
okay,
Or yeah, that's what we said it would be.
right,
Yeah, I don't consider Godzilla to be a horror movie.
okay. Because I mean, if it was
Jeremy,
real, okay. So Godzilla,
terrifying.
if it was real, it would be terrifying. Like just having this idea that like a giant creature could just show up and destroy your town because like it was
What's it
bored
gonna
that
do?
day.
Come out of Lake Michigan?
You don't know what's over there. That lake is big.
Is it gonna walk here?
I mean, it doesn't take much for
Granted,
it.
river's connected, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna get bottomed out in one of our rivers.
I mean, I feel like if Godzilla wanted to walk from New York to here, it wouldn't take very long to get here. It's got big
Like
steps.
we'd have enough notice.
Yes, but it
I
would
wonder
still
if
be.
I wonder. All right, I'm going to Google if it would tell me the answer to that.
I
How
mean,
long would it take for Godzilla to walk from New York to Wisconsin?
because also in the Godzilla universe you have Mothra, so you
Hmm.
got the flying ones. The other one, the other giant monsters you have to worry about. Now,
Yes.
they started separately, but would you include King Kong into the Godzilla franchise because they instantly became linked, not instantly, but they became linked with each other? Or would King Kong have its own separate entry?
I guess it would. King Kong could have enough to do its own. I don't know.
Yeah. King Kong, it would be separate.
Okay.
People said it would take him about 2 days and 24 minutes to walk from coast to coast.
So if it
So to
took
get
him,
to us would be about a day.
yeah. Yeah, so we would have some notice, but not a lot.
Yeah. All right, you got 24 hours till Godzilla's walking through your neighborhood.
Hey, hey. Start calling your insurance company right away. Like,
Yeah.
oh, Godzilla's on the way. What are you going to do for me?
I advise you to leave.
I don't want to. I don't want to think about that. Like, I would just be like, what do you even do? Like, oh, anyway, that's for when we actually debate the Godzilla franchise. All right, so
Yeah.
I think we have a good baseline for what a franchise is going to be. A bare minimum of 3 movies and some sort of tie-in property, whether it be a
So,
TV show, an
okay.
animated show, a video game. What is the likelihood that it shows up on the Pop Tart box or the Frosted Flake box?
Mhm.
What are the chances that it shows up as a pop vinyl or a Lego or a potato head?
And then video games would also be three.
Okay.
Because I'm trying to think if there is there any video games, Jeremy, you can think of where they just made two that wouldn't be a franchise. It's just two.
Medieval. Was there only
Okay.
two of those?
Would you count that as a franchise?
I might. I mean, it wasn't like really that well known, but that guy was pretty iconic. Um,
Because I think
like
they only made two Croc games, right?
yeah,
I think.
yeah, I think so. What about Glover?
I don't remember Glover.
I think it was like a platformer for the Nintendo 64.
They made what two Parappa to Rappa games? Do you remember those
Oh,
ones?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, those are some fun games.
There was like a onion head guy.
Yeah, singing.
Yeah.
How many Super Meat Boy games have they made?
Hmm. Well, probably there's the original, and they just released like a 3D one.
I say, is it more than one? Do they make new stuff, or is they just remastering it for the next gen stuff?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, that's a valid question. Movies that have been remade. Does that reset the clock for if it's a franchise, or does that get counted into the franchise total?
I think I would say if they're remaking it, so they're not attaching it to what happened on timeline A, this is now timeline B. I think it would reset it because then it's
So,
not a franchise because nothing is connected.
so the only thing that I can come up with, and I haven't seen the Tom Cruise movie, Mummy movie, but I know that was their attempt at rebooting the Mummy franchise that had started back in the 30s, and then again with Brendan Fraser. So like that was a so the Black and White franchise, the Brendan Fraser franchise, and then the attempt at one with Tom Cruise. That would be three separate entries, or because they're all owned by the same company. It's all Universal. Like, does that all fall into one?
That's a good question. I would say they're separate, but
I was gonna say that I would say three separate.
Okay.
That Tom, if you didn't tell me that Tom Cruise Mummy was supposed to be connected to the other ones, I wouldn't have known.
Well, that was when they were going to try to do. They were trying to reboot the whole Universal Monsters franchise,
the Dark
and
Universe.
yeah, they had they released that promo art, and they were like, Russell Crowe is going to do this one, and Tom Cruise is going to do this one, and yeah, so and so is going to do this one, and like we got, I mean, because they did that Dracula movie that was somehow related to the Mummy movie, like Dracula Untold or Dracula whatever, and that kind of flopped, and then the Mummy movie flopped hard, and then they were just kind of like, yeah, okay, this thing's not going to happen.
They blew it.
I watched it, but I wouldn't have. I didn't realize they were supposed to be connected somehow.
Hmm. They just don't care about the Universal monsters anymore.
No, not like
Blah!
they used to.
Mm.
The kids, they just don't care.
I mean, well, you can't see it because it's down further on the shelf, but the Universal Monster set of pops that I have beg to differ, but I guess I can't call myself a
You're
kid.
not a kid.
Yeah, to say, as you gaze upon the amount of gray that my beard has taken on.
I might have close to the same.
All
It's
right.
close.
All right, so I think we have a pretty good baseline for what a franchise is, how to split up science fiction, and whether or not that becomes two brackets, three brackets, will that day will yet to be seen. Any final thoughts on what a franchise is or what science fiction could be before we move on?
I guess not.
All right. Did anybody
No.
watch anything over the last week that we want to talk about?
Hmm. I saw Backrooms last night.
Oh, I've heard good things.
It was interesting. Like, definitely, well, it was inspiring because the guy that made it was the same guy that did the YouTube shorts. So, he was only like 20 years old and he got to direct this movie, so that was pretty cool. But yeah,
Did that get your creative juices flowing?
it did lit a spark. And it was very, um, I mean, the atmosphere was very cool. I mean, it's very, just a unique idea. I watched the first short that he did. I could see why it was so popular. I guess there's like a whole lore, but I didn't really dive in too deep into like his whole stuff. But the movie, you don't really have to know any of that just to watch the movie.
Yeah, I didn't even know there was other stuff. I just thought it was like I knew he was a YouTube director who had done some stuff, and they were like, hey, let's let this 20-year-old kid have a couple $1 million and make this movie, and all of a sudden it's just making buku's money, buku bank.
I knew it was a game on Steam.
Oh yeah.
That I didn't know it was YouTube Shorts before that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did like some found footage stuff based on the Backrooms.
Ugh, I don't like found footage. We've had this discussion.
But the movie
Don't need to
wasn't
rehash
the
that.
movie wasn't found footage though, was it?
There's found footage parts, but it's mostly like a movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was cool. I think that's
Excellent.
about it. I've been still watching Curb,
Okay.
working my way through that.
I've been working my way through Modern Family still. I don't think I watched any movies. I'm actually going to start writing down everything I watch so I can remember.
Did you give up on the Berlanti verse, or you just don't have access to it anymore?
It's mostly the access part because once they took Arrow off of Netflix, But I seen they just put it on to what's one of those free show
Tubi,
streamers?
Tubi,
No,
Pluto.
no, Pluto. They just put it on Pluto.
Oh, okay.
So now I might be able to get back into it.
I know you wrote down
But
there, so you should be able to start back up where you left off. So
yep, I got that in my little book where I'm at. But yeah, I got a couple things in the works. Whether or not any of it comes to fruition, you know how I am. I start something and then
you don't finish.
yeah, I quit real quick.
All right. Well, I've decided to do a rewatch of the Flight of the Conchords,
Hmm.
which
All
was
right.
really funny. Jermaine Clement and Brett McKenzie. I don't know. I was like, man, that was a really funny show. Which then it got me thinking, like, I hate musicals, but like, make it a 30-minute sitcom, and I'm like, yes, I'm in.
What about Schmigadoon?
One of these days, I'll watch that.
It's pretty good.
Um, I finished The Boys. Jeremy, did you started The Boys, right?
Yeah, I gotta go back. I should rewatch it because I don't know what's going on anymore. But I think I made it through like 3 seasons. How much? There's 5 seasons?
Yeah, they just finished up the fifth season.
Yeah, I think I made it through three.
I think it's really good thing that they ended when they did because that show was going off the rail. Like the fifth season was going off the rails. Like it was. There were definitely episodes where it's like you guys have taken this too far. Like you've taken the concept and ran it too far. And it was like, I mean, it was the fourth season was the fifth season. I mean, it was a satisfying ending. They wrapped it up in a satisfying way, and they kind of finished the storylines. They didn't leave much open. I mean, they left enough open that if they want to continue with other spin-off series, they can. But they finished the main storyline, but they were letting personal politics play way too much into what the show was becoming. And it was just like, I get it. You don't like the current administration. Awesome. Like, right. Okay. That's not why I signed up to watch this show. And then so they got away from
Right.
that and they got away from that and went in a really crazy direction in the fifth season that I was not super comfortable with. So I'm kind of glad they were like, yeah, this is it, because I don't know if I would have stuck around. But it was
Okay.
satisfying. And then I started Welcome to Derry back in October. Then I got distracted and forgot about it. That It prequel. And then yesterday I just binged, like there was just 8 episodes in the series. I think I watched like 4 or 5 episodes. Like I was in the middle of like the last episode when I had to stop watching it. That was interesting.
So because of Welcome to Derry, it and Chapter Two, is that a franchise?
Because it's Stephen King and all of his stuff is somewhat interconnected somehow, it's probably a franchise and it would maybe go into the science fiction horror bracket. But yeah,
I'm just gonna question everything now.
because one of the characters from Welcome to Derry was also in um oh, why am I forgetting the Jack Nicholson movie,
The Shining.
The Shining. So he was, because Stephen King has connected so much of like all of his stuff to the Dark Tower series that he created. Like a character from the Dark Tower will show up in Hearts in Atlantis, and The Stand has some characters from something, and like it's all he just likes to like sort of throw in Easter eggs to his other work somehow. So, and because I
That's
mean,
smart.
so the character from The Shining and Welcome to Derry also was in like like two other things that weren't necessarily directly related to The Shining. Although I think Doctor Sleep is.
Yeah, that one is.
But yeah, so that's what I've been doing. Oh, and today I went and saw Breadwinner.
Never heard of it.
It's that Nate Bargatze movie.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's cool.
It's
Oh, now you've heard of it.
Oh, now that you say that.
it's exactly what I expected it to be. I mean, it was a serviceable family film because he's a clean comedian. He's one of the better comedians in the market right now anyway. Um, but like it's just I mean, it's silly, it's cheesy. The events of the movie are probably on the unbelievable side of things, but
Science
like,
fiction, if you will.
not quite, not quite.
Does that count?
But it was heavy on Saturday Night Live because it had Will Forte, the Hurley kid from Don't Please Don't Destroy,
Oh, nice.
and Colin Jost, and I think maybe one other, but like Kamal Nanjiani, when he got ripped to play that one character in the Eternals, he's just made that like his entire thing now. Because like his whole character in this movie was just like wearing tight shirts and like doing the rock peck dance and like like showing off the guns. Like he was like he got ripped and he was just like, this is who I am now.
Got it, flaunt it, I guess.
I mean I'm not gonna say I wouldn't be doing the same thing if I had any sort of motivation to actually work out and eat right and had millions of dollars in which to
That
do
sounds
such.
like too much work.
It had millions of dollars in which to do such things.
Yeah.
All right. Well then, I guess.
Do we care about Summer Game Fest at all? That happened over this weekend.
Summer Game Fest.
Yeah, it's like the new E3.
Oh,
There was some
I
decent
think
announcements.
kind of late to talk about some of that.
Well, all right, go on. Just end it.
okay. All right.
I mean, there's some things to talk about, but I'm just saying, maybe next week.
All right. Next week, you want to do video games next week?
I'll bring a list. I mean, it's really
Yeah.
not. There's not a whole ton of shit, but there's some things. Sure.
Okay.
I'll bring
All
a
right.
list.
Okay.
All right.
What's it called? Summer of Games? Summer of Love?
Summer Game Fest.
Okay. Because that'll give me a
Games that
couple.
make us go fast. Yeah, give us a couple days to look into some of it.
That'll give me a couple weeks to work on some of these brackets. So.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well then, I guess. Well, I think I'm going to start ending all the episodes this way for the time being. Artie Moreno, go fuck yourself, sell the team.
Comic books have been around for almost a century, and in the last 2 decades, we've finally gotten to see many of these characters brought to life in movies and on TV. On the Moving Panels podcast, we discuss movies and TV shows based on, inspired by, and adapted from the world of comic books. Join me and my guests as we discuss both the good and the bad from Marvel, DC, and even some of the lesser-known comic book companies. Learn what is and isn't from the comics, as well as our nerdy review of the movie or show. New episodes drop every Monday, and you can find us wherever you listen to podcasts. So join us for Moving Panels, and I'll see you on the other side of the page.
Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and listen to an 80s Flick Flashback podcast once in a while, you could miss it. Do you love movies of a certain age? Do you miss the days of VHS tapes, VCRs, and the video rental stores? Does the thought of another 80s movie being remade seem inconceivable? My name is Tim Williams. I'm the creator and host of the 80s Flick Flashback podcast. On each episode, I'm joined by guest co-hosts to discuss one of the many movies released in the 1980s. We share our first-time watch memories, our favorite scenes, and even learn some behind-the-scenes stories about the cast and crew along the way. New episodes are released every other Friday on your favorite podcasting platform. So make like a tree, get out of here, and go listen to an excellent episode of the 80s Flick Flashback podcast. The ad is over. Go home. Go.